a war going on. The books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you. I'm coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Wednesday, May 14th. Got another great day of playoff action here with 4 big games, 2 in the NBA, 2 in the NHL, following last night's action with our 2 NBA results and our NHL score as well. And there's a huge slate of Major League Baseball coming up here on Wednesday, including, well, I said it, maybe I even lamented it there yesterday. Hopefully, and not a bunch of double headers, but that's what we got. That's okay. We'll tackle them here on the show. It's always a little tougher, but well, we're just going to be a few hours away. We're going to almost lead you right up to Major League Baseball action here today. Hopefully, you were able to join us last night here on the Sports Money Network in conjunction with Sharpie's Picks. Sharpie there yesterday as we had our Major League Baseball Tuesday night features with our prop selections following their show yesterday afternoon, and we were able to track plays last night, and we saw some good Major League Baseball action as well. We were on the air with you watching a little bit of our Tuesday night coverage, so hopefully you're joining us there for that, and we'll have more big-time coverage here this weekend, of course, with UFC and, of course, baseball, basketball, and hockey, and anything else we can dream up, including just moments ago as I saw Coco Gauff win in a great match, straight sets, but Mira Andreeva, certainly a top elite player, incredible shot making. Still, Gauff had the wherewithal and the power to win over Andreeva here, 6'4", 7'6", just moments ago, probably about a half hour ago it finished up. Still got some great action here just underway with Draper and Alcaraz. That sounds like a pretty hot match going to get going here. Just started here just a few minutes ago, and another great match after that, feels like, with our Arena Sabalenka and Qinwen Zhang. Yeah, big $3 favorite. Doesn't seem like, the way Zhang is playing. I think she could maybe give her a little bit of a tougher match than that, but got some nice action over at the Italian Open today, and we're moving closer to another major tournament in the PGA with the Players Championship here coming up on Thursday. We'll preview the action here, maybe send out plays overnight. We'll preview it too heavy here, but the PGA Championship, I said the Players, of course, PGA Championship, the real major of the two, but coming up from Quail Hollow here on Thursday. I want to thank everyone for coming in here. We're going to have a pretty great show here today. Previewing the action, let's say hello to a few folks here, my friends, my regulars, if you will. It's going to be Robert McCormick here. He joined us last night on the live stream show, Truth Teller. It's always great when the truth is here with me in my chat with you guys. Cash Kane as well. Good morning. You ready to get it? Old E there talking baseball action last night. And let's see who else is here. It's Blue Lotto-dee-dotto-die here this morning. Thank you to those guys for checking in. Hey, everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. The best sports betting channel on YouTube. And We're ready to go here with some of our review from yesterday. We had some crazy action in baseball and, of course, the NBA and NHL. But I do want to start with the big story, I feel, this morning and from yesterday just happened as we were a little bit after we got off the air, but a historic day for the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, as one of the best players in Major League Baseball history will become eligible to make it to the Hall of Fame, as Commissioner Rob Manfred finally realized that Pete Rose should be eligible to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. A man who never bet on his own team, but was just a degenerate gambler like you guys and me here, if you will. Pardon the pun or pardon the expression, but uh, he has been removed from the ineligible list so that he can be considered for placement on the Hall of Fame ballot, as did shoeless Joe Jackson. I think there are two distinctly different situations regarding the pair. Nonetheless, they both are now eligible. The rule was changed, so gambling on baseball. But as Pete said, he didn't really want to be eligible after he had passed away. The man loved baseball. He didn't love necessarily Major League Baseball. Although he did love the game. Don't make it confused that the game of baseball is only governed professionally by Major League Baseball in this country. But nonetheless, Pete loved the game of baseball. And also the 8 players who were banned in the 1919 Black Sox scandal. If you're not familiar with that, there's a great old movie called 8 Men Out that kind of details the shoeless Joe Jackson story from the 1919 World Series. Different era, salaries were different, way things worked out were different with that situation compared to the Rose situation. But the Hall's Classic Era Committee can now call a special meeting to put Rose and Jackson in the Hall of Fame in 2027. Or possibly sooner with a waiver, you would think, with the great contributions that Rose made to the game itself, they would do it tomorrow. But Rose died months ago. Jackson died in 1951. Rose was found guilty betting on baseball in 3 seasons. He likely did it for many, many more seasons than that. A man who liked to hang out at racetracks. He liked to gamble. That's what we like to do, right? So there's nothing wrong with what we're doing. And maybe there's nothing technically wrong with what Rose did. He actually had made a conscious decision in his mind never to bet on his own team that he was managing in those years, 85, 86, 87. And maybe in the back of his mind knew it was wrong to do so, but he was just picking games like you and I. You look at his betting slips. He usually bet between $1,000 and $5,000 per game with a bookie. Probably never squared up on all those debts. He was admittedly a poor gambler, but that doesn't make him any less of a hero in our books, right? The fact that he loved to bet on games, but probably shouldn't have done it during his playing or managing career. But because of his, great records, the all-time hits leader, obviously one of the greatest hitters in Major League Baseball history, eligible now for the all. He only had 4,256 hits. Okay, you can do the math there. Jackson also hit 356 over 12 seasons. So I'm a Pete Rose fan. He may have been cantankerous throughout his career and especially later in life, but it maybe had just been a grudge against the commissioners that prevented him from entering, being considered eligible for the Hall of Fame. All right. How'd it go last night for you guys in the playoffs with that game between the Indiana Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers? Another huge lead. Man, I said to Mikey, you can't put it in those big comebacks from 20 points down because they were only 19 points down there. So the Pacers went on a 19-2 scoring run in the third quarter as Cleveland lost that lead and had just one basket, one for 18 in that scoring drought. Pacers win the series to advance. Donovan Mitchell left the court, came back, had 35 points in the game. Didn't get much help and it proved to be not enough, as the Pacers, who won 3 games on the road in Cleveland, closed it out 4-1 there yesterday to advance, and they'll likely take on the New York Knicks, although they've got to still get past the Boston Celtics. We'll talk about that one here just a little bit. And also, last night it was the Oklahoma City Thunder exploding for 34 points in that fourth quarter rally to win. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, 31 points. The Thunder shot 51%. Jokic, I said it right, maybe on several shows yesterday. Oh, if Jokic can get one of those 40-point nights, they're probably going to win, and they were winning, and they were going to look like win that game, but maybe just not enough help for Jokic. So Oklahoma City leads 3-2, heading back to Denver. We're still on track, technically, for a 7-game series there, and Denver's not done yet. It didn't look like they were done there early on, as obviously Oklahoma City was having a little bit of trouble early on with Denver. Who definitely gave them as much as they could handle yesterday in that game, but Oklahoma City proved to have it in the end there with that win. How did you guys do in the NBA last night? And today we'll preview Knicks leading their series over Boston 3-1, Timberwolves leading 3-1. We'll get down to the close conference finals. All right, and how about it in the NHL last night? A confident victory there in the game between Winnipeg and Dallas. How about Mikael Granlund with the hat trick there for Dallas, as they were able to win over Winnipeg last night in pretty convincing fashion. It never looked like they were ever going to be headed there yesterday in the victory for the Stars, 3-1. We did have the Stars here as our pick on the show as a favorite. Now they are in command, 3-1, heading back to Winnipeg. Not over for the first seeded team yet, but it does feel like Dallas is best in that series, and they can look to put it away with the next game, as they are now up 3-1 there in that one. And we'll preview tonight Leafs and Panthers with the series tied, and the Oilers could wrap it up tonight here in Las Vegas, up 3-1. All right, let's say hello to some folks here now arriving, and then we'll get the show started with our previews. Got to figure out these double headers a little bit, but also joining us here in the chat right now is Fernando Mendoza. All right, appreciate you guys being here. Wait for a few more people to chime in and let me know they're here. We're ready to start the show. We don't have quite 3 dozen in here yet, so let's move on to a little bit more recap and see if we can't get a few more in here for the previews as we get ready for the playoff action here. All right. In Major League Baseball last night, we talk about just some of these results here. Also, it is NFL schedule release here. We are seeing a few more leaks, as they like to do, but we're getting ready for that schedule release in the NFL. I mean, we know who we're playing, but we just need to know when we're playing and how we're going here. But we did find out some more additional news. I don't know why everybody's all thrilled and excited, like the Chiefs and the Cowboys. They're like, it's going to be Thanksgiving. It's going to be the Chiefs and the Cowboys. But we know it's always going to be the Cowboys, right? Why this isn't some epic game? Let's kick the Cowboys off of Thanksgiving. I mean, even I'm tired of that tradition right now with this team. But we know that it's always going to be Dallas and Detroit playing in their Thanksgiving game. So why is this one so special against the Kansas City Chiefs? I'll pay them a little bit of respect to that team, but we're going to find out more here with the NFL schedule release coming up. So that's a little bit of news also. Okay. Major League Baseball last night saw some games late night in case you missed it. The A's beat up on the Dodgers last night. The A's, hey, I like to play if the season ended today, and the A's, of course, they'd be in the playoffs, and I'm holding the futures ticket on them. Uh, doesn't mean they're going to hang on there, but they're playing great right now and having a great time. Jacob Wilson, 4 for 5, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. It was 11-1. The A's are the best road team in Major League Baseball. That's what I like, teams that win on the road. And how about young Nick Kurtz with his first Major League home run for the budding star? 11-1. We had the A's on the run line here on the show. Uh, some other results of note last night: Guardians shut out the Brewers. Logan Allen, 3 hits and a walk in 6 innings, and they shut out Milwaukee for the second day in a row. We did have Cleveland as our premium pick winner in that one. Milwaukee, they're a totally home and road team. They don't play well on the road. They do get all their wins at home. How about the Rays yesterday over Toronto with that grand slam by Caminero? We were on the air live describing it there a little bit. The Rays gave up 5 runs in the last 2 innings, but still hung on. Varsho homered twice for Toronto, but it was the Rays winning that one. And we had the, let's see here, we had Toronto in the game, but the Rays were able to get that win. And we'll also talk about Tigers over the Red Sox, 10-9 in 11 innings there. That was a thriller there yesterday. The Tigers got the win with a 3-run home run by Javi Baez in the bottom of the 11th inning. He also had a big 2-run homer as well for 6 RBIs. Red Sox had that game tied in the 8th inning, but Detroit is now 28-15, 16-5 at home. And the Tigers are one of the biggest stories in Major League Baseball right now. Astros beat the Royals 2-1. There, we did have a winner here on the show with the under. Man, I was really tagging Chris Bubich in there in that game with his strikeout prop last night and some other picks as well, but it didn't quite work out. Still went under, as we called it here on the show. My Padres able to get the win on Fernando Tatis Jr.'s walk-off home run, and they got it done. We did have a pick here on the over in that game, and that sent us, well, I think it was already over because it was 4-4 at the time, but Tatis Jr. with the emphatic walk-off home run last night for the Padres. Padres would be a wild card team as well if the playoffs started today here in the middle of May, but they don't. But it'd be the Mets, the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Padres, the Phillies, the Giants, and the American League would be New York, Detroit, and Seattle, and the wild cards would be the Guardians, the Royals, and the A's. How about those teams here? And there were some other wins of note here yesterday for me, including premium pick winner with the Mets and the Pirates there, as Beatty hit a home run, and the Mets were able to win that one. The Mets are 28-15 as well. I had a winner here on the show with the Atlanta Braves on the run line as they pasted Washington 5-2. Drake Baldwin, 2-run home run for Baldwin in that one. We also had a premium pick winner with the Texas Rangers against Colorado. Who else? I mean, who didn't? There with Jung, 2-run home run, 4 RBI, or 2 home runs, 4 RBIs in the game, send the Rockies down to defeat. We also had the under here on the show there yesterday. We also had the under in the Yankees and Seattle late night last night, but it was Seattle able to get that win over New York in a thriller, and it was San Francisco knocking off Arizona late last night. We had the winner here on the show with Robbie Ray, but it was Christian Koss with a grand slam home run in that one. We're getting some new stars in Major League Baseball here, so hopefully you guys did well. We had those 2 rainouts forcing those double headers here today. All right. See if a few more came in so I can get started with you and talk sports and sports betting here on the Sports Money Network. Just NYC Bar. All right, looks like a slow crowd. Looks like people just aren't as excited as they used to be for Ramon to come on the air, but let's get started anyway with our show in just a moment. You can get more picks from me today here with my plays over at winnable.com/Ramon. Hey, I guess I'm going to need to here make some good plays today in Major League Baseball and some playoff action as well. Some tennis that I've sent out if you want to get some of my tennis plays here. We are already in action with some of our plays. You can go over to winnable.com/Ramon and check me out over there with my sports money premium selections. This is how you support me here on the channel, actually, by subscribing to my premium picks. And I do have a couple of more plays here ready to go for the action today in uh, tennis here, with a couple of more plays going off in just a short while. Also, college baseball we've been focusing in on as well. All right, so really appreciate the subscribers there. I'm doing my best to bring you some great winners and some picks and help you send you on your way there every day here from the Sports Money Network. All right. Think I'm all ready here now to go. We almost got 4 dozen of you in here, so I'll get started with the show. I don't want to keep those of you that have come in waiting. All right, let's start it off and go to the NBA here right now with our games here tonight. And one that, I don't know if we've really been able to talk too much here over the last uh, 36, 48 hours, since we know that Jason Tatum's injury has changed the complexion of the series drastically here, no doubt. But the Knicks will still be an underdog here tonight when they take on the Boston Celtics on the road. Sans, of course, Jason Tatum, who did the right thing, I would think, in undergoing surgery as quickly as possible for a player who's still in his prime. And while we know that the Achilles injuries for veteran, very veteran players are often, you know, would close the door on the career of a lot of players. Does feel like Tatum could work his way back to superstardom, given his age and star trajectory. It's going to be tough. We're going to probably miss Tatum for hopefully not for a whole season, but does look like that would be the case with an injury like this. Although they're getting better at uh, getting players back, in play here as soon as they can or as fast as they can with these rehab and the way that these uh, operations can take place. So hopefully we will see maybe Tatum make some appearance late next season just to get his feet wet. If not, I'm sure the season after that with that awful injury there. But how will it affect the Celtics here in this one tonight? I mean, they're still favored. They've got a pretty great lineup they'll be able to throw out there, but it's more or less the demoralizing factor, it feels like, for the Celtics trailing this series after they were, in position here to make another run. Cleveland hadn't looked that great, obviously, after losing the series there. And maybe it was setting up that the Knicks or the Celtics could, beat the Cavaliers, but just didn't work out. The Knicks won those 2 games in an upset, of course, and then even though Boston was able to salvage a victory, they're now 3-1 tonight, and they'll have to go in there, uh, with Big Al in there, Drew Holiday in there, trying to make up the difference. Derek White looks pretty terrific, certainly, and Jaylen Brown, he's up and down a little bit, but we know that he can be the impact player that can take over a game uh, at times here, and they'll need KP, who's got a tough matchup no matter how you look at it with Carl Anthony Towns. It's not a great matchup really for KP, but the Celtics play great defense on guards and kind of make things tough for Brunson. And I say try. Brunson's been the biggest star, it feels like, to a certain extent, with all due respect to SGA and Jokic for their great play. Brunson has been, a superstar, no doubt about it. He's been the man who's maybe impacted these playoffs the most with the most clutch shots. It feels like to me he's been terrific. Hart, Ananobi as well. So who's going to take this one against the spread here tonight, you guys? Can the Celtics actually win and cover a number here, despite being basically left for dead right now in the NBA playoffs? Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have here tonight with the Knicks and Boston. And, it's a different handicap now, so it could change the way you're thinking of things here in this one.
Final.
What would Boston be favored with? Jason Tatum in the lineup. It wouldn't be 8, 9, or 10, would it? I mean, it would be, but it doesn't seem like it should be the way the great job the Knicks have done here. All right. Nasty Nate says the Celtics will smash in this one. So go ahead and lay it, everybody. It's worked out so far. Take Boston to bounce back, says Nasty Nate here. He expects them to smash here tonight without their superstar. And he does say they'll still do what they do best, and that is win the second quarter. He also likes them to win the first half. So I guess that's it. No need to handicap this one. The Celtics are expected to roll here tonight, according to Sports Money moderator and expert Nasty Nate. Take the Celtics, he says, tonight to crush the New York Knicks. I imagine Nate also believes that the Celtics will come back in this series without their superstar and win it and go to probably another world championship, I would imagine. Here's Blue on the Knicks, however. He says lay it. Also, Nasty Nate here, he likes White, Pritchard, and Brunson all to go over their threes. So, man, if they did that, obviously it's going to be a blowout here tonight for Boston, for these guys to go over their threes here tonight. Nine Legacy says, talking about his injury there a little bit. NYC Vara says Knicks on the money line. They will close it out. Blue is on the Knicks here tonight, it looks like. I think he said it twice, actually. We need some more picks, it feels like. And Nine Legacy, look, I mean, I think Tatum, gets so much, maybe because he does it with such ease, right? That many people do not prefer Tatum's game as as superstar. There's people want to call him soft, but look, he's been there. He's done it time and time again. And maybe he's folded in some key moments, but look, they won it. Tatum's is a superstar. There's no doubt about it. So I'm a Tatum fan as well. I mean, I'm more of a fan because so many people are kind of want to get down on this guy, and he's been resilient. It was just heartbreaking the way he did that little. He looked like a bad break dancer there, spinning around, but it was just awful, All right, and let's see here. Cash Now is here today. And he's got White's points and Hartenstein's rebounds in that one. And Nick's been leading the series here. Nate says he'll take whoever he wants. Take whoever you guys want as well. You can take the Knicks if you want. Trevor Davis likes the Celtics in this one. Cash Kane likes the over here. And I think that might be it for you guys. There are not a lot of contributions here from the chat in this game between the Knicks and Boston here tonight. And guess that's it from you guys, and I'll make play here as well in the game between the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics. I got to take the New York Knicks. I mean, it feels like the Celtics fans are a little bit maybe myopic here. I don't think they see, maybe they just don't understand the impact of a player like Jason Tatum to this team. It feels like he really is the heart and soul of the Boston Celtics, and it feels like the Celtics, if they could come up with a great effort from these guys tonight, that would be something special for sure. They got some great players on that team, no doubt about it. But man, just seeing the comments here, man, it does feel like it's just a little bit of a naive approach there tonight. Look, Boston can do it for sure. They got great talent still beyond, but just does feel like they maybe don't understand. I think maybe also Celtics fans take advantage of their great superstar and don't realize what they have half the time. It feels like, but all right. Still, Boston has won 14 of their last 20 games here coming in, and they've 7-2 their last 9 games at home. Why couldn't they still get it done? However, we know the Knicks have kind of had their number now. They've covered 4 on last 5, obviously, here. So I got to take the New York Knicks here tonight on the show to at least get this number, make it close. Maybe the Knicks want to go back home, but if you can get a chance to close out Boston, you want to leave them breathing with this great team that they have, no doubt about it. With these other players, but man, Jalen Brunson is just absolutely terrific here right now and really doing a great job in key moments. And they were able to obviously win that game 121 to 113 a couple of nights ago. Look, Boston won in New York. I think that showed resiliency, but just going to have to take the New York Knicks here in this one. All right, let's move on to the Warriors and the Timberwolves here tonight. Take a look at this matchup with the Minnesota Timberwolves looking to close these guys out. 10.5 point favorites here right now, and the total 202.5. Let me correct that graphic there on the screen, right? 204 here right now, maybe 203, but we're actually seeing it range from 202.5 to 204 right now between the Warriors and the Timberwolves here with the series 3-1 in favor of the Wolves. In fact, I see some 11s at a few spots and maybe even 11.5 at a few remote places, but mostly 10.5s out here right now for Minnesota in their matchup here against the Golden State Warriors. Let's take a look at some of the trends here for this one, with Minnesota having won 3 straight games now over the Warriors. And of course, they too are totally affected by the injuries here with Steph Curry and that hamstring injury. Not ready to go, that's for sure. Here tonight, making Minnesota even a bigger favorite over the Warriors here. Last game, of course, 117 to 110. It was in favor of Minnesota as they swept their 2 games on the road there as underdogs, able to win by 7 and by 5 points to kind of put Minnesota in this desperation situation, but at least they are at home tonight, and they'll have to rely on, of course, their group of stars, including now, Buddy Hield, and still a tough matchup going against the man, Ant Edwards. Edwards, to me, man, it feels like I guess we've had a few players over the years, but his combination of explosiveness and shooting, I mean, look, I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan or anything, but he might be the closest thing to it. I know the problem is he just is so up and down a little bit, right? People wonder why he disappears at moments. So he's not a worldly superstar, but in these playoffs he is, it feels like right now. With some of his big numbers and big shots and incredible dunks, powerful dunks as well for Ant Edwards. So been terrific, really an easy matchup now. It feels like for guys like Gobert and Randall's even succeeding. Come on, Draymond Green, defensive player, candidate for defensive player of the year. Can't really even slow down Julius Randle, really. Maybe, yeah, he's a heady player and gets into other situations that makes him an effective defensive player. But as a one-on-one defender, it feels mostly like Green gets his work done when the ball is already in the air, if you know what I mean. So I don't know. Randall's even going off on these guys here right now, and you get great leadership from Conley and Also McDaniels here, but Warriors only big contributions from Butler, from Heald, from Pajemski, who's definitely is starting to struggle here a little bit. So go to the chat and see if you guys have a pick here in this one between Golden State and Minnesota here tonight. Possible closeout game. Minnesota has defeated Golden State in 8 of their last 12 games now overall in this lengthy overall series, but before, including games before this series as well. Minnesota's won 8 of their last 9 games at home coming in. Let's get some of the comments here from the chat, maybe in this one between the Warriors and the Timberwolves here. It's going to be blue on the Timberwolves here tonight. And Cash Kane on the Warriors plus these points. He likes them to be, in this game. Look, getting double digits here with the Golden State team with all that playoff experience, if you will, championship experience, right? Wolves team total over, says blue. NYC bar, Timberwolves money line, time to close it out. And Lion Legacy, it says it's done. And Cash Now says, let's see. I'm not sure what Cash Now is saying there, but talking Timberwolves team total. Can't quite figure it out. Terrell says Minnesota will win this one, and that's going to be it for Dre. I don't know what his future would hold here. It's obviously not over with an elite defensive player like that. Robert here likes the under. Truth Teller says take the points with Golden State. And I'm going to take the Minnesota Timberwolves in a blowout tonight of Golden State here. I'll try Minnesota. They don't seem to be, terrific against the spread. We know they've been a losing proposition actually against the spread overall this season, but I'm going to say it's just not enough for Golden State here right now, and I expect them to fold here tonight, and this one to be a blowout as Minnesota will advance. Final. Casper Ruud has beat Munar in the Italian Open just moments ago. Keith Just Truth has a prop here. He likes Naz Reid over in his threes. All right, I guess we're going to move to the NHL and preview our 2 games tonight in hockey. Playoff contests here. Let's bring them up and take a look. All right, it's going to be the Panthers here to take on the Maple Leafs. And wow, this series is tied at 2 apiece. Coming into this one with the Panthers on the road here, favored $1.45. The total 6 under 20 doesn't really give too much respect here to what's going on with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Is it backwards here? Okay, for sure. Florida's won the last 2 games and we're at home in that one. Toronto's been just as strong, right? They won at home as well in their games, 5-4 and 4-3. Only a couple of goals separate these teams so far. Sure, Joseph Woll is in there, but Woll has performed admirably here as the Maple Leafs goaltender in the postseason. Sure, he's not maybe the better of the goalie, but when you're in, forced into play here with the injury to Stolarz, kind of similar maybe to Edmonton's situation, right? Woll's an established goalkeeper. I mean, certainly been, plenty of games in there, plenty of moments for Woll. Maybe not that overall playoff experience, but still a good goalie. I mean, the Stolarz also wasn't anything, it was playing well, having a good season, getting his chance with a playoff caliber team for the first time, really, and he came through strong this season. But without him here, in the playoffs, and I guess you're going up against a goalie like Bobrovsky. Look, even Bobrovsky, right? Remember the years languishing there with the Jackets and everything. So, look, he ended up in a nice situation here, and he's been able to capitalize and put Florida, keep Florida going here a little bit uh, in this run. So let's see how you guys are going to play this one. But man, it does seem kind of interesting that you have such a considerable favorite in what's been such a closely rated series here between these two. What gives here tonight with Florida going up against Toronto? Let's get your plays in the chat here right now. And the total there, as you see, 6 under 20. And even I do see some of the square books are up there a little bit at 6.5 under, just a couple of them. But get your plays in the chat here in this one between Florida and Toronto here tonight. Man, we've seen goals in this series. Last game was a little different at 2-0 there. Remember, the first games had been averaging almost 9 goals per game in the first 3 games of the series. Okay, here we go. Maybe with some comments here in this one. With Blue is on the Panthers here. Timmy Two Shoes, he's going to bring us some. I'm glad you guys are into the World Championships here right now. We've got Team USA minus 3.5 goals, says Timmy Two Shoes. Thanks, Timmy. Probably should get in there. NYC Bar likes the Panthers. Timmy says USA lost to Switzerland, and they'll want to come up strong here. Look, to me right now, I'm looking at the World Championships. You got to figure it's going to be the top 8 teams that are, pretty much already established as the teams expected to advance. Maybe in Group A, there might be a little bit of battle down near the 4 or 5 spot. But Latvia got off to such a strong start. They've been a bit of a surprise. So you just figure Canada, Sweden, Latvia, Finland make it, and also Germany, United States, Switzerland, and Czechia also. So I do have Canada to win it all. Too easy there. You're going to get even money a little bit. Cash Dow says the Panthers are playing a little bit dirty, it feels like. Robert does like the Leafs here with that plus money here tonight. And will we get back to those overs, here between these two? Still 13 of the last 19 meetings between the two teams have gone under, despite the fact that Toronto and Florida have been going over here in this series in 3 of the 4 games prior to last game. Florida has gone over in 5 of their 6 games on the road. So we had been seeing wide open hockey here until last game when it went, to the under with that 2-0 final score. So, all right, let's see. I guess that's it from you guys here, and I'm going to try the under again here tonight with Florida and Toronto. All right, one more here tonight with the Oilers taking on the Golden Knights of the possible closeout game here with the Oilers on the road, however, with Skinner doing a great job there in goal. It came up big in that last game as Edmonton was able to get the victory by the score of 3-0 with a shutout. So for all those that are worried, Skinner showed through and proved to be good. Remember, Hill was rugged early there, giving up a couple of early goals. It looked like he might even get pulled. He settled down and actually played pretty decent in the game, but it was just those 2 goals that kind of shook his confidence there, and it gave enough room for the Oilers to get those goals and be confidently ahead for the remainder of the game. And were able to play great and hold the Golden Knights scoreless there with the win. Now, Oilers did win the first two games here of the series in Vegas, 4-2 and 5-4. So Edmonton all of a sudden kind of has Vegas's number here a little bit. Edmonton's gone under in 13 of their last 17 games on the road, including 4 of the last 5 games here in Vegas have gone under as well. Yes, Vegas, maybe even some of these games in this series, we've seen some high scores. I mean, it was 4-3, Vegas in their win. Oilers won here 4-2 and 5-4. One of those is still an under because these have all been 6.5s, and this one is heavily juiced here to the over here in this one. But let's go to the chat then and see. We don't have too many plays here from the group, but we do have the blue here is on the Oilers. NYC Bar likes the Oilers here as well. And I think that's it from you guys there. And I'm going to take the under in this one with the Oilers and Vegas Golden Knights here tonight. I'm trying the under 6.5, juice to the over. Give me the even money proposition on a lower scoring game. Robert does say no goal in the first 10 here, and he likes the Oilers to win. This is what we used to call a consensus play, it looks like, from you guys with the Oilers here, it looks like tonight. Also, Timmy says, how about a Draisaitl hurdle parlay to give each team a goal here in this one tonight? All right. I think that'll do it here for the playoffs. I'll just take under in both hockey games tonight. Get ready to go in Major League Baseball now because we've got plenty of daytime action here. 2 doubleheaders, so a little bit tough to make the best plays on the doubleheaders. Maybe in game 1 we'll come up with something, though, in a couple of these. And I think we're still trying to get the pitching matchup together in one of them or both of them. But before I was coming on the show here, so maybe we'll get some news as we roll along here with our games. Let's go to it with Minnesota and Baltimore. So at least here we've had a little bit of a I guess shuffle. I guess Povich would still go in that second game then here, maybe, if he's not expected to go in this first one here with Ober taking on Kramer. I think that is indeed the matchup here. I think that's the first one anyway. Yeah, here we go. All right, now I'm ready. So for Bailey Ober here, comes in with a 4-1 record for Minnesota, 3.5 ERA and a 3.41 BABIP here. Ober, good peripheral numbers anyway. A 6-2 are the Twins with Ober as starting pitcher. Gone under in 5 of his 8 starts so far. Twins have been a big time under so far this season, going 14-23 to the under. For Dean Kramer here, he's 3-4 with a 5.24 ERA, 1.27 the WHIP, and a 271 BABIP. The Twins are still, they're hot. They didn't play yesterday, so they still have that winning streak intact that we talked about on the show yesterday. But Baltimore's still going to be a favorite at home. The current line actually is a dollar. Well, we can keep it $1.20 or so, and 9 under 20. That looks pretty fair here. Go ahead in the chat. You guys are probably ready here with Major League Baseball picks right now. We get ready for the action here. All right, Minnesota comes in with that 8-game winning streak here, but still been tough for them against Baltimore long term. They've lost 10 of the last 13 meetings between the two teams. Baltimore 4-1 at home against Minnesota. In the last 5 meetings, Baltimore's lost 6 of 8 coming into this one, as Minnesota is a much hotter team for sure. They are the hot team. For sure, Minnesota's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games on the road coming in. Let's go to the chat right now and see what you have in this one. between the Twins. Game 1, thank you, Blue. He's noting it here. We do have a doubleheader. We're going to kind of go in order, so we'll preview Game 2 in a few games down the line. NYC Bar does like the under here in this one. And Cash Now says, I think he's saying take Minnesota here, maybe first 5. And Will is here today. Thank you for being here, Will. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Timmy Two Shoes says Twins Baltimore play the under possibly here in Game 1. The thing about the doubleheaders sometimes, it does feel like pitchers work quickly, games get over with, and I kind of just tend to stray to the under a little bit in some of these doubleheader games. So look, with this being the first game and it's doubleheader, I'm probably not going to be anything super premium or anything like that. I'm probably want to give out both the side and the total for me in this game. I like what you guys are saying a little bit about Minnesota. They're playing well. Maybe Baltimore can knock them off, having won 2 of their last 3 games. But I'm going to go with both Minnesota here, but I'm going over in this one. I'm going Minnesota and the over. My play is going to be right here on the show on the first game of a doubleheader on a Wednesday afternoon. Probably not going to work any premiums into these doubleheaders, I don't think, here today. All right. Let's see here. Twins Baltimore under for Timmy. He said here 9 Legacy Twins money line. Will says Orioles in Game 1, and Robert will take the Twins here. They finally got their offense together, I think, or at least we're seeing better offense from the Twins. They are averaging more, 4 runs per game. Baltimore is actually averaging 3.8 runs per game right now. They are at home, so maybe that evens things up a little bit. But even money, I'll take the Twins here in this one. Terrell going with that ever popular same city parlay. All right. Next up, we'll go to another doubleheader, Game 1. So we're going to have to iron this one out as well between St. Louis Cardinals and the Philadelphia Phillies here with Eric Fetty going up against Jesus Luzardo in this one. That was the not the original scheduled matchup. I think they've actually flipped these pitchers a little bit here, so we do have a little bit of a different preview, I guess, and we'll see if we change up the pick. Obviously, we not changing up, the different matchup entirely, so let's take a look at this one here with Eric Fetty coming in here with a 3-3 record, 3.86 ERA, 1.3 the whip here in this one. Cardinals, man, they are playing as well, it feels like, as well as they have here right now in 2 or 3 seasons with this 9-game winning streak here for the Cards. They've also won for the last 5 games against Philadelphia overall, but Philly, they're hot too, having won 11 of their last 15 coming in. Philly has a slightly better record right now, but the Cardinals have made enough progress here on this winning streak to be 4 games over 500 right now. For Fetty, workmanlike numbers, but for Luzardo, he's 3-0 with a 2.11 ERA and a 1.2 whip coming into this one, although a 3.33 BABIP does show a little bit of vulnerability, it feels like, in Luzardo, but look, it's been a good acquisition here, obviously, for the Philadelphia Phillies, but as hot as St. Louis is, I'm going to take them on the run line here at plus 1.5 at minus $1.35 in this one. Feels like this streak is legitimate enough to think that the Phillies might be a little bit overpriced here, especially with the Cardinals have fared well against Philadelphia in their head-to-head series. Last night was 3-2. St. Louis did win the game, and the teams did meet back in April, and the Cardinals did win 2 of the 3 games at home, shutting out Philadelphia twice in that series. So, they've played well against them so far this season, and they're playing well enough right now. In fact, St. Louis is the more profitable team. Philly's going to be laying some numbers a lot of times, so maybe that could be a bit of a factor that Philly is often overpriced. St. Louis is 17-11 as a run line underdog so far this season. A lot of it here in the last week and a half with this great winning streak for the St. Louis Cardinals. We'll go to the chat right now, but I'm going to already take the run line. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. St. Louis has gone under in 5 of their last 6 games, and Philadelphia has gone under in 4 of their last 5 games at home. All right, you guys in the chat might be ready to go here, and it's going to be 9 Legacy. Likes the Phillies to roll here in this one on the money line, turn it around and end that losing streak. So does Will. He thinks Philadelphia wins here as a favorite. And Timmy Two Shoes wants an NFL schedule show. We'll just watch the big ones, Timmy. Come on. But hey, how about my Chargers? Are they going to be playing the Chiefs in Brazil? They let the Chargers, you get to protect some of your games from those NFL schedule makers. I think what they do is they allow some teams to protect some home games of the teams that they want, and then the remainder are kind of chosen there. But I think the Chargers didn't protect a Chiefs game, and I think ended up being Chargers Chiefs in Brazil, possibly to open the season. Robert here likes the over. Blue is on the Cardinals, and maybe he likes them on the run line here with me. So I'll take the Cardinals here in this one as well. All right, and that's game 1 of a doubleheader. Fetty and Luzardo, just a note. All right, next up. Well, we've got the Brewers taking on the Guardians here in this one, and Henderson going here for Milwaukee. He's up against Williams of the Guardians here. The Guardians are $1. Well, it says $1.50 on the screen, but let's see what it is now. Logan Henderson pitched pretty well in that first start. Yeah, maybe it's down to $1.45 at least. I don't know if there's any $1.50s out there, but $1.45 and the total probably more like 8 over 15 here. Feels like maybe a little bit of a move to the under here in this one, but let's take a look here with the Guardians. Here we go. At minus $1.45 here with, like I said, Logan Henderson looked pretty good in that first start. 9 strikeouts in that first game for Henderson. So we'll see if we got the deal here. Milwaukee has been struggling here of late for Gavin Williams. Not great numbers, but he has been able to win some games. He's 3-2 overall. The Guardians are 5-3 with Williams on the mound. He's got a 4.3 ERA, but a 3.76 BABIP here. Guardians, though, were able to get the win last night by the score of 2-0, racking up here back-to-back shutouts here over the Brewers. It was 5-0 in game 1 in this matchup. So Guardians now 8 games over 500. They're up 8 2/3 units so far this season, despite the fact that they've been outscored by their opposition overall this season. Basically, when they lose, they kind of get blown out, and when they win close games. Brewers are 3 games under 500. They are having a little bit of an up and down season here, but they're in a little bit of a rut right now. having lost 4 of their last 5. Milwaukee still has beaten Cleveland in 8 of their last 11 matchups overall. And maybe this is a tolerable price, though, for Cleveland, the way they're playing. Still, got to see what we have in this pitcher, Henderson. Cleveland's gone under in 7 of their last 8 games at home. Milwaukee's gone under in 6 straight games on the road right now. So, okay pitching for sure here, and 2 shutouts in a row could make for a low-scoring game, or will they bust out here in this one? Look, Milwaukee doesn't have the best bullpen around, 4.6 ERA, but Cleveland pretty good in the pen, 3.85, but like I said, they've been roughed up some in those blowouts. I think that their bullpen is actually better than that, than those numbers kind of indicate. So Milwaukee is just 5-16 as an underdog, 8-16 on the road. We said they're a total home and away team for the most part, and Cleveland been pretty solid at home at 14-7. That I might try the sweepage. Here right now. Cleveland's won 10 of their last 14 games overall. Let's go to the chat here. I imagine Brewers still could get some support here from folks. Let's take a look. And it's going to be, Robert likes his Brewers here, I think. And Blues on the Guardians on the run line, it looks like. And Timmy says, no, I'm going to try no sweep. NYC Bar is on the Brewers as well. I think Will either loves Cheap Wahoo, or maybe he's on Cleveland here. And there's a Brewers team total in the bag for Fernando. I'll still go with Cleveland here. I got him at $1.45 on the screen. So, me. Give me a favorite off of 2 shutouts right now. Brewers might be struggling a little bit with the bats. And Gavin Williams certainly is serviceable. I would say at this point, these numbers aren't overwhelming, but they're obviously winning with him in there. But 1.73 whips, nothing too thrilling. I'll take Cleveland in this one. Going to go out west for an afternoon game here with the Diamondbacks and Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound, taking on Jordan Hicks, and the Giants here with the Diamondbacks on the road, favored here, $1.15 in this one. I'm going to say the Giants are favored now, right? I saw this morning. It's back and forth. I'll call it a pick 'em, though, for sure. It's either one way or the other. The teams are slightly favored. There's a few books with Arizona as either a favorite or a pick 'em, and I would say there are no books holding San Francisco as a favorite for the most part, but no worse than a pick 'em. So I'll call it a pick 'em as well. The total here now is 8 in this one between Arizona and San Francisco. The Giants were able to get a win to snap their losing streak in yesterday's game. It was 10-6 as the Giants smoked them early. There were a lot of runs early, and they smoked them late. There were 7 runs in the first couple of innings there in that one, as the Arizona Diamondbacks scored 3 runs in the first inning, but the Giants countered with 4 runs in the bottom of the second inning and then added 3 more in the 5th to start to pull away. And then San Francisco was hitting the ball so hard they were breaking the signage there and banging the ball, home runs off the wall, breaking the Levi's jeans sign there in that one. So see what you got here with this game between Rodriguez and Hicks. For Rodriguez coming in here, a 7.3 ERA so far this season. Poor numbers, but still, Arizona 3-5 with Rodriguez on the mound, a 3.08 batting average against, a 3.78 BABIP. He has struggled. Hicks, though, is just 1-4 with a 5.82 ERA, a 1.4 WHIP, 2.72 batting average, and a 3.44 BABIP. As these guys have gotten knocked around pretty good so far this season. However, Arizona has gone under in 11 of their last 14 games overall. 7 of the 10 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Now, the conditions at night here yesterday allowed for that high scoring game. The previous night, it was 2-1 Arizona. But here we are in a day game here today. We'll see how that maybe affects things up there in San Francisco for this matchup. You look at it here today with, let me get these weather conditions down, because it certainly was a factor last night, but we are dealing with a day game here today. So let me take a look at this here. And right now, winds blowing in from right field, 7 miles an hour at game time. Temperatures in the mid to high 60s here in San Francisco today. So San Francisco here has won 4 of their last 5 at home, but lost 4 of their last 5 games overall. Giants have won 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams. Arizona also 4-2 of their last 6 games here in San Francisco. But let's see what you guys want to do here today with Arizona and San Francisco. Of course, right now San Francisco holding the better record here, 25-18. Arizona game over 500 at this point. And let's go to the chat right now. See what you got. I'm going to start off here with Timmy Two Shoes. He says, it's Hicks in the daytime? Give me the over. Will's on the Giants NYC bar, though, likes Arizona. Spoons is here wishing us luck today. And Fernando is on the over right now in this one. Blue likes the Giants. We're all over the place in this one, aren't we? Kind of like the National League West is all over the place. Jermaine's here, and he says, take the Diamondbacks today. And Timmy says, if Arizona doesn't crush Hicks here, what are we doing? But unfortunately, Eduardo's also struggled big time here, it feels like right now. All right. And Cash Now, he says, I think Cash Now is making his picks in honor of Pete Rose today. And you know what? When the Dowd report came out, we saw how Pete bet, and you can look at the betting slips. There's plenty of evidence, and you can see. I mean, he just looks like a regular, a high roller gambler maybe, but betting, a couple of dimes a game. Oh, we have breaking news here right now with the Steam coming in. It's on this game, folks, and you better get it now. It feels like maybe they're watching the show. Shout out Don Best. Where's my free service and sponsorship? They sent it out here right now with the over, and we're seeing a move right now to the over in this one between the Diamondbacks and Arizona. We're seeing it going up here to 8.5. Maybe even we could get 8.5 over 15 by the time this thing slows down. Dang, because that felt like well, I'm going to go with San Francisco. I'm still going to try to hang on here and probably try to get some premium out of this. If not, maybe I'll just bet it. But I'm kind of leaning over, and here's on the move. I've got the Giants in this one at home as a pick'em against Arizona right now, but the move is on the over here clearly. Robert's on the over. Trevor is on the over. 9 Legacy will take the Giants with me, but there is no doubt this one is getting steamed here right now. Bet Online is showing a move to the over here currently as well. So steam to the over right now in this game, Arizona and San Francisco. If you like the over, the time is probably now. The time is probably already gone here, but probably still going to try to work a premium into this here in that game. Okay, let's move on. Next up is going to be game 2 of the doubleheader here. Now, I don't know if we've actually seen the now, look, it was supposed to be Povich here, but I don't know if we've actually heard from the Orioles here I'm sure it's Povich, right? I mean, help me out here, gang. Why wouldn't it be? I was, it's a little tough to get all the research done in the morning when the teams haven't even woke up yet or something like that. But why wouldn't it be Povich in this spot? But what they said was Povich is being pushed back to start the weekend against the Nationals, and the Orioles still need a pitcher to pitch in this game. Now, some of the guys are being talked about. Chase McDermott possibly could be. I think the 27th man, he probably will start game two. Everything's okay with Povich. If he started today, they'd need a starter on Sunday. So I think what they're doing here right now is just going to end up with Chase McDermott in there, according to Hyde, and he's not one to stretch out. I mean, it'll be a bullpen game, but it looks like the Orioles are shifting around their pitching. We don't know for sure. There's really no indication other than heavy speculation here that McDermott, who was on the injured list too, but he did look sharp at Norfolk. So, we'll see. I guess another one, doubleheader here, so we got to play it by ear a little bit and wait and see what happens here. But I'm going to say McDermott is likely the man to get the start here as Baltimore kind of shuffles things in this one. So, look, a doubleheader here, it might be tough. People don't want to go with, a doubleheader sweep necessarily here, but I'm just going to try Minnesota here. They seem to be the more stable situation with Woods Richardson, who was scheduled to pitch yesterday, of course, in the game against Povich. So maybe it'll be just one of two that actually would be a bit of a break even. I'm sure here we'll see what the line is. I'm sure it'll be very similar to the first game. Maybe it'll be closer to a pick 'em here in game two, and I would imagine the total in that game will also be very close to 9. I imagine 9 over 20 would be what, if it's Woods Richardson against McDermott in a bullpen game, I would say it probably would be a pick 'em and 9 over 25. That'll be my prediction for the line, not knowing. Let's see if Ramon can play lines maker today here, and maybe you can make your bet according to the line. If Baltimore comes in $1.25, maybe I like Minnesota. If it goes the other way, maybe I like Baltimore, but I'll take Minnesota on the show here. I'll take it for a doubleheader sweep with Baltimore unsure of their pitching plans. Maybe a better spot would have been Baltimore game one, but Minnesota on this 9-game winning streak here right now on a roll. So don't mean to leave you guys hanging here. I think that's pretty good information, but I don't know if the picks are all that solid, right, in these doubleheaders anyway. Let's see if you guys have anything, though, in this one. Maybe NYC Bar likes the under in game two. And Will says he will take the Twins also in game two. I think, did Will say O's in game one? I'm trying to remember. Jermaine liked the O's in game one. And maybe Blue likes the Twins in game two also. So hopefully that sends you on your way and you're satisfied with what I'm telling you here about the Orioles pitching situation. I think that it does feel pretty solid, but obviously anything can happen in between games, if you will, and whatever the Orioles need to do in game two. But that does feel like with their, you get the additional player in the doubleheader. So, all right. Jermaine says, man, there were a lot of walk-offs last night, weren't there? All right. Let's keep it going here right now and get to some you have to finish another doubleheader here in a moment, but let's sneak in here with the Yankees and the Mariners in a hot series right now going on following yesterday's action here. You got Will Warren on the mound for the Yankees. Comes in here, Warren, with a 2-2 record and a 4.75 ERA, 3.02 BABIP. So far, not awful numbers here for Warren as he gets his career going with the Yankees. Yankees have been pretty good of late. But hey, the Mariners were able to end their losing streak a little bit there last night with the 2-1 win, and a fun, exciting pitchers duel there. But you do have Castillo here, not quite Castillo numbers just yet, but he's 3-3 with a 3.95 ERA, 248 batting average against, and 286 BABIP. Feels like Luis is starting to get it going here a little bit. And after all, yesterday Seattle did get the win after the blowout loss in the first one. So it's good that Seattle's been able to kind of measure the Yankees and get that impressive win last night, thanks to Brian Wu. There was a good pitching matchup, right, as expected. Hey, we went with the under yesterday on the show, and it was 2-1. So right now, however, the Yankees still have won 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams. So Mariners had lost 4 in a row before that win yesterday. Yankees have gone under in 4 of their last 6 meetings with Seattle, but Seattle's gone over in 9 of their last 10 games at home. The Yankees have gone over in 4 of their last 5 games, including also Yankees have gone over in 5 of their last 7 games on the road. So could this one turn around and maybe get back to some runs after what we saw last night? And we're dealing here with a day game, of course. So that's got to be a little bit of a factor here as well, with this one going off at 4:10 Eastern, 1:10 Pacific here on getaway day for these two, and see if that affects what you guys think in this game. Maybe let's see what you got here between these two. Let me bring up the matchup here with the Mariners. Let's see here.
Steam play.
Oh. All right. Anyways, feels like a good matchup for these Seattle bats, though, for me against the Yankees. I mean, you still have 2 top 5 lineups. I think this Seattle lineup is performing very, very well right now. I mean, they're averaging 4.9 runs per game. That's very, very good. Yes, the Yankees are averaging 5.9 runs per game, but look, they're on the road here. We know they run up some big scores here right now. Kind of like this matchup tonight for Seattle here, and I kind of want to take them in this one against the Yankees today. Yankees here, I have them showing on screen as $1.15, but they're no higher than that. That's for sure. Total here is mostly 8, although there is some 8.5s juice to the under out there. But Warren here looking, pretty high K rate, 25%, looking pretty good. Castillo just getting it done the way he does. These two pitchers are 9-5 to the over so far this season. Like we said, Seattle's been kind of a big time over so far this season, home or away, 25-14 to the over overall. So I'm going to take the Mariners to win the series over the Yankees. Let's go with Castillo here over Warren. In the chat, however, Will is on the Yankees, and NYC Bar says he likes the Yankees on the run line, which is a nice return there. Jermaine. Alternative to over here in this one. Jermaine also, though, says he is not a fan of Castillo right now. Jermaine, is it over for Castillo? I don't know if Jermaine's just anti-Castillo. I mean, obviously, Luis Castillo has had, great career. He should be kind of in the prime of his career right now. He's not off to a Castillo-like start. Jermaine, is Castillo toast in his career, or is he just horrible right now? Any hope for him to get back to his career form, or is he on the downside? Nine Legacy says Seattle money line blue is on the Yankees here, and I think this means take the over also for blue. But I'll take the Mariners here today in this one. And a good game there. I mean, look, Seattle, no doubt, despite, a couple losses, I mean, they're still 23-18 here right now. Yankees just 24-18. And Jermaine's just holding a grudge against these Mariners pitchers, right? Jermaine's like, I drafted Castillo and Miller. We know the Mariners have the biggest ballpark now in the pretty much in the major leagues. I've got he uh, uh, got one over on all of his buddies, and they haven't performed. But it's a long season. Don't trade those guys. I don't think. Jermaine, because even if they have an average season, they'll be a little bit better than your average pitcher, right? All right, you guys, there is some steam coming in right now on a game later tonight. It's a big number, but the steam is coming in on the Mets here with Clay Holmes. Man, he continues to look good. And I don't know, if the steam's coming in on the Mets, I got to think it's going to be a Clay Holmes kind of day. Still might be a little bit tough to swallow for uh, you know, regular punters here, as the Mets are going to be north of 275 or higher here. It feels like right now. How high can we go in this one? Will we see $3 tonight for the Mets? The way they've been beaten up here a little bit on the Pirates. Let me see if we can get this current line here, but there's definitely a move coming in here. 295 right now, pretty much a consensus price everywhere. Pennies up to 270 here. Bovada $3. Circa's at 292. DraftKings just went to 298. Stations down here near me, $3. So big move here on the Mets coming in right now. Just took the steam. Pretty much about a 40 cent move right now on the New York Mets. We'll get there eventually. Let's move to second game of the doubleheader now between the Cardinals and the Phillies. I think we're looking at Gray and Nola here. Gray was scheduled to go yesterday. This would be Nola's regular spot. They just ended up, I believe, just flip-flopping the pitching matchup here in this one. So game 2 of the doubleheader makes it a little bit tough, but I feel kind of confident in this play here today. I'm probably going to go both side and total. Again, I host a sports betting show on YouTube, and I make a lot of picks. So sometimes in a doubleheader, my unit size, it goes down a little bit on some of these doubleheaders, and just don't make many premiums out of them here because you got to issue them. You want to give plenty of time for folks on a premium, and you got a doubleheader and whatnot. So I'm going to go side and total here, but this is a game I wish it was, and it wasn't going to be the original pitching matchup, but I was kind of looking forward to Nola here. It feels like for me, I want to be on Nola, and we're going to go. Let me roll the numbers out here a little bit, but I'm waiting for this bounce back. I'm waiting for this Nola start. I know the Cardinals are hot here, but I'm going to be taking Philadelphia and the under. I'm sure it's going to be an awesome game. I almost wish there wasn't a doubleheader in this game because I wanted to target Nola here for the start. Look, Gray's been awesome. I'm a Sonny Gray guy. I mean, I'm a backer, a proponent of Sonny Gray pitching, especially maybe in the underdog role. And look at the Phillies here, going to be still $1.35 and the total 8. But I'm taking the Phillies in this one. Gray is 4-1. They're 6-2 with Gray on the mound. You know what you get with Gray. He's going to be awesome here. This is going to be a good game. I feel like a good pitcher's duel here. Maybe I should save it for a premium, but when these double headers, you know what I'm saying. Phillies are 2-6 with Nola on the mound. He's 1-6 so far with an ERA of 4.89, 3.28 BABIP. But Gray has a 2.80 BABIP. Gray is 7-1 to the over so far this season in his starts, despite just a 3.5 ERA. He's got a lot of run support, and I don't know if that run support's all going to be there necessarily today in this one. So both teams are averaging 4.7 runs per game so far this season, and both teams are allowing just over 4 runs per game. So, hey, good game, good series. Great day for a doubleheader, if anything, and with these two teams anyway. Could spend a whole day at the ballpark there. And will St. Louis have that winning streak when it comes to game 2? We'll see. But not much use going into too many trends like we already did in this series. Let me just see if anybody's playing game 2 today with the Phillies, $1.35 here, and the total 9. but I'm going Philly and under both. Picking the picking the whole game here. Okay, here we go with Timmy Two Shoes is ready to cash here already. Here, just another couple of goals here, and he's going to be home free. Will likes the Phillies to sweep in this one, and Betty and Gray they'll get you. Look, I've always been. Anybody's watched me over the years here. I'm unapologetically a Sonny Gray guy. Often, underrated a little bit. And let's see here, maybe a nerfy here for blue, but not much with the doubleheader. So give me Philly in the under though. If anything, I like this play. I just wish Philly wasn't. I wish maybe St. Louis wasn't on this 9-game winning. Maybe it is good they're on a 9-game winning streak, but it doesn't seem like it's keeping the price down. In fact, if anything, I feel like maybe I'm not getting the best price. So good thing it's a play here on the show. Let's move on. Let's go to the Red Sox and the Tigers after what a game last night between these two, huh? It was back and forth, a lot of offense, a lot of balls flying all over the place yesterday with Boston and Detroit. High scoring tilt. And Detroit winning at Boston. Remember, Boston also had big moments in the game yesterday, but man, this Detroit team, hey, don't waste all your destiny in May. Tigers here with their hot streak right now. Man, Detroit's been super. 16-5 at home so far. And doesn't hurt when you have Tariq Skubal going in this one. Now he's a big favorite against Hunter Dobbins, who's looked absolutely terrific so far. For what we're expecting from Dobbins. Dobbins, a 2.78 ERA and a 1.19 whip here, 256 batting average against, a 3.4 BABIP. 304 BABIP coming in. Red Sox 500 here right now. Look, Detroit far and away. Very, very good. Here, up already 11 units so far this season, but really like this pitching matchup. Now, I know Detroit's averaging 5.5 runs per game, and their pitching is among the best, allowing just 3.6 runs per game. So, can Skubal, though, here dominate against a Boston team that they had the bats out a little bit last night? And hey, Boston against left-handers are 4-3 so far this season. I know we're going up against pretty elite left-hander here, but Boston's been doing a good job, and Dobbins has been doing a pretty good job as well. And last night was a battle, for Detroit, and they were in a bullpen game there a little bit last night. So, all right, here we go with Boston and Detroit. What do you guys have in this one? Boston's lost 5 of their last 6 games overall to Detroit. Detroit's won 7 of their last 9 overall. 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Boston's also gone 1-4 here in Detroit in the last 5 overall. Detroit's gone over in 12 of their last 15 games. A widely reported steam did come in on the over here, but we're still looking at 7.5 here in this one. The Sharps, they like to be kind of, contrarian, I would think, in these spots. I feel like we're going to get a pitcher's duel here as we're, into the evening games here, 6:40 Eastern, 3:40 Pacific. Let's go to the chat, see what you have in this one. Boston and Detroit here on Wednesday evening. It's going to be Will likes the Red Sox here, 9 Legacy. Tigers on the money line. Keith Just Truth chiming in. He likes Detroit in the first 5. And here's Red Sox run line. And this one for Trevor. And I got to go with Trevor. I got to agree. Give me the Red Sox plus a 1.5 at minus $1.25 here. I take him to stay in here. Detroit's been playing great, but they do make their games exciting. It feels like, no doubt about it. So I'll take the Red Sox here. They're starting to maybe get that. Well, the offense has been fine endeavors. Devers was the story of the week, obviously. He complained and he still went out there and performed. So kind of hard to really get too upset with the guy. Doing a pretty good job there, despite voicing his displeasure publicly about his situation there in Boston. I got to take Boston on the run line tonight. Scooble, they're 5-3 with Scooble. He's shown a little bit of vulnerability. He's awesome. We know that any given moment, but still dealing with the Red Sox here. And Detroit, to be fair, has won the first 2 games of the series, scoring 24 runs, no doubt about it. But Boston almost got there last night. I'll try them on the run line. Here we go with the chat. And I think you guys, Robert likes Tigers first 5 in this one, -0.5. So Robert going for a little payday here with because it feels like the line actually in the first 5 is a little higher, right? Than the full game. Yeah, Detroit first 5 -1, and it is -105. So -0.5 here is minus $1.45 or so. Okay, let's move on to the next one here, right? Oh, Jimmy Two Shoes says Red Sox with me. Okay, next up, the Rays are on the road, taking on the Blue Jays and Bassett. Going to be Pepio going here for the Rays. For Bassett here, a 3.35 ERA so far. He's $1.40 in this one. The total is right there at 8. Feels like the line's a little bit higher, though, actually, than this. Currently, I'm showing Toronto up near $1.35, $1.40, maybe even $1.45 right now. Let me see what the closest price is anyway. Oh man, $1.55, $1.60 here now. Well, we've gone up overnight, it feels like, here with the Blue Jays. And Bassett, let's be fair here. I think we've got 2 guys who are pitching pretty well, actually. Bassett, 3.35 ERA. Bassett's 1-7 to the under. He's not 1-7. He's 3-2, but he's 1-7 to the under so far. 321 BABIP, so maybe not as good as these numbers might show here. But the Blue Jays are 4-4 with Bassett on the mound so far this season. Rays are a losing proposition so far, but they did win yesterday's game here by the score of 11-9 in a bit of a slugfest. Both teams had their chances. Blue Jays won the let's see. Oh no, that was the first game of the series there between Tampa Bay and Toronto. For Pepio here, 3.86 ERA, 1.3 WHIP, 250 batting average against, a 274 BABIP. Rays are 16-23 to the under overall, averaging just 3.9 runs per game, despite what happened yesterday. Jays have gone over in 9 straight games right now. The Jays over City here at this point, and they're scoring runs, no doubt about it. Their offense has finally really hit its stride big time here right now. That could be part of this move because the runs that they're putting up here. Also, 13 of the last 20 games between these 2 teams have gone over. Tampa Bay's been an under team so far this season, no doubt about it. But Tampa's won 8 of their last 9 games on the road. So you have Tampa, who's also beaten Toronto in 5 straight games overall. They're giving Toronto the business here right now. So let's see how you can play this one with the Rays and the Jays. You can call me Ray, or you can call me Jay. Anybody? Let's go to the chat and see what you have in this one. Toronto did take the widely reported steam. I guess that's why they're up here to $1.55 or $1.60 right now. But let's see what you got. This is a high price, man, on Toronto. The Rays playing pretty tough here. I'm going to the chat, see what you guys have in this one. The Rays on the run line are no bargain either at $1.60. All right. Here Here we go with Timmy says the values on the Rays, they're falling back to earth. Can't trust them. I don't know, Timmy. The Rays, the Jays just were on their best winning streak of the season before losing last night in a game that could have went either way, it feels like. And Will says take the Jays here. All right. Yeah, I don't know about that price here, but the Rays, I'm going to take the over here. I think I'm using my premium right now, but I got to take the over. the the to me, with Toronto going up here a good 20 cents. I mean, I have to consider Tampa Bay, I'm sure, but I'll take the over here right now. With the way the Jays are going, I think their offense is flat out clicking right now at this point, and they've gone over in 9 straight games. I do like these pitchers. I like the fact that Bassett's 1-7 to the under at home, but still does kind of give it up here right now. And yesterday's game was a slugfest for sure. Robert likes the over, and oh man, Cash Now has got a bunch of plays here. Over with Springer. Thank you. Okay. Let's go to this one here. We just talked about a few moments ago with this big line move to the Mets. Have won 3 in a row. They're now pretty much minus 300. You could call it 290. You maybe get lower the sharp books, but it does feel like $3 would be the price if you headed on over to your average sports book right now with these Mets. And, why not with Clay Holmes? He's doing a pretty great job. The Mets, the first team in Major League history, I think they said, or at least in the modern era, with all 5 starters with an ERA of 3.15 or less, all with 40 or more strikeouts so far after 8 starts each, I think is what they said. No 5-man rotation, I think, because not every team's had 5-man rotations for years, but to have 5 pitchers with 3.15 ERA and over 40 strikeouts through 8 starts. So it just shows how good this Mets rotation has been. Clay Holmes is part of that. He's 5-1 with a 2.74 ERA and a 3.13 BABIP. The Mets hold teams to just 3.2 runs per game thanks to that great starting pitching. The bullpen, they're not bad either. Third in the league with a 3.03 ERA. The Mets are a World Series contender. We know it, but I said it. And look, the Bucks they're definitely struggling here after firing their manager. They're playing barely 340 ball here, it feels like right now. And Brady Falter hasn't been awful, but when you got going up against a Mets team here, right now that, hey, one thing you could say about the Mets is they do have a good record, 5-2 against left-handers coming in. I guess that's about their average anyways, but currently the Mets 2.5 games over the Phillies in first place there, if I'm not mistaken. I should look at it, but I think that's what I saw last night. Let's look at some of the numbers for this series here right now after yesterday. The Mets, like I said, Mets are on a bit of a roll once again, if they ever weren't, but won 3 straight games, including these first 2 over Pittsburgh. They did, played well, obviously, against the Cubs, and right now the Mets are back to being on a roll here. For the Mets, they've won 5 of their last 6. They've won 16 of 20 at home. They've won 6 straight over Pittsburgh. Pirates have lost 7 straight games on the road. They've lost 10 of their last 12 overall. They've lost 8 of the last 10 against the New York Mets. The Pirates have gone under in 6 of their last 7 games overall. Let's go to the chat, see what you have in this one with Pittsburgh and the Mets today. And might be easy to go on these Mets on the run line, but we got to consider the price. It's only minus $1.35 to lay that 1.5. And obviously Pittsburgh with plenty of issues here.
Steam playing.
We get a couple of these steam moves in right now, though, real quick. We'll let you type in here on this one. The next game's about to come up, but I want to mention White Sox and Reds just got steamed to the under. It went under yesterday, much to my chagrin there, but Martin and Lodolo steamed to the under. It was 9 under, but it looks like we're going to go to the 8.5 overs here right now in the White Sox and the Reds. Also, moments ago, steam on the over in the game between Kansas City and Houston. Lorenzen and Tanner Gordon steamed to the over there. It was 8, but we're going to go 8 over 20 at least. We may even get 8.5 under with Kansas City and Houston steam right now to the over. And that's why you tune in here to the Morning Steam Show. Here comes some plays here right now. Pittsburgh and the Mets. Oh, Spoon's we got to get Spoon's comment in here on Toronto. He's nice enough to give us his comment there. And Jerry likes the Jays on the run line. Looks like Carlos Alcaraz is just pretty much blown out Draper here. I don't think he covered my game line though. There I had Alcaraz to rock here by. Oh no, he did get the 4-game win. I laid 3.5 with Alcaraz in the 6-4 6-4 win over Jack Draper. That one just finishing up. All right. Well, I wasn't even paying too much attention because Alcaraz was dominating, but did cover the game spread for me there in one of my premium picks. Good job. All right. Cash now says Miami. He's back on that Miami game there a little bit. And maybe he's taking the Mets here. Robert likes the over in this one. And I'll go ahead and lay that $1.35 here and take the Mets on the run line. Okay, let's go to the game we just mentioned right now. We're previewing them all here at this point of the season, but let's not, be too down on the Reds here. They're 20-23 right now, and they got Nick Lodolo going here, who's been pretty good so far. 3.23 ERA, 101 WHIP, 259 batting average against. The numbers are good for Lodolo. It's just the fact that, oh my gosh, the Reds have just lost the last game here to the White Sox yesterday, 5-1. Tough to say whether or not the weather had any issue there. They had a long rain delay, and the White Sox got the win on the road, and the Reds could only manage 1 run. So that's not good. Reds are still down 5 1/3 units so far this season. Both these teams kind of trend to the under here, especially the Reds. They are under in 7 of their last 10 overall. White Sox are 8-13 to the under on the road, average just 3.4 runs per game. For Martin here of the White Sox, he has a 4.01 ERA. White Sox are 1-6 with Davis Martin so far on the mound. 287 batting average against, a 316 BABIP coming in. Lodolo here we said better numbers for sure. The Reds a better team, and they're laying 220 today against the White Sox. But Martin just a 4.01 ERA. For a young pitcher here. Let's take a look and see what you have in this one. That steam came rolling in. Reds have lost 8 of their last 10 coming in, and also they've gone just 2-5 in their last 7 at home. White Sox have lost 4 of their last 6 to the Reds, but got that win yesterday. White Sox have gone under in 6 of their last 8 games overall, and 5 of their last 6 on the road. 6 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams here have gone under so far. So I don't know. Will the Reds be able to clear this run line, or the White Sox have another good effort in them here today? Martin doing pretty well. I mean, you look at the Whites. Look, I keep saying, don't let me bet on the White Sox. They're 23-19 on the as a run line dog so far this season. They have been able to get there on these run lines for the most part, and even today here, you look at them, they're at a pick 'em on the run line in this game. So go ahead and let me try here. Let me go to your plays first, maybe before I click the wrong button. But I'm on the White Sox. I guess I'll just say it now. I'll go to the chat. I'm gonna take the Sox again here, but man, you gotta like this total. Let me move. I'll probably move it down right now because I'm pretty sure it's all 8.5s. Might be even 8.5 flat at most spots right now. 8.5 over 15 maybe, but I'll just call it 8. Or let's see, 8 over. Well, let me just go with. I'm going to go with. I'll go with 8 over 20 here. I think. Kind of put my lean in there to the line too, because it feels like it's going much lower here, right? And it feels like it's getting slammed actually. And again, you look at these two teams. Yes, the Reds 5-12 to the under as a favorite so far this season, as I said, and. Let's go to the chat. Yeah. Anybody seeing the 8 over out there? I think that's what I'm putting in there. Robert, this might have been, I think this was the last game though there. Gorky likes Musetti today over Zverev. And Gorky liking the Knicks on the money line. Nice to see you here today, Gorky. And Spoon says he's using the Reds here, I think, with that minus 20 in a parlay with the Phillies game 1. Gorky's got his UFL already for us. All right, Gorky. Anybody who's already got his UFL in must be sleeping well at night. Fernando leaning here to the under. Thank you. And Kelly there. Oh, look at Kelly. You know Kelly. I mean, if we could get Kelly on, if we could get her on the air to have her own segment. I mean, we should have Kelly come on, give us all the angle. Kelly not only knows about Pete Rose night tonight in Cincinnati, where the fans look, they're never the sign on the road. You could ban him from baseball, but the sign on the street says Pete Rose Drive or Pete Rose Way, right? We know, and. Not only that, Kelly can tell you when every player's bobblehead night is in the league, I think, as well. And no, I think this one will be special tonight there a little bit. Maybe I gotta change my pick. Robert's on the under here. And let's see here. Kelly said she heard it from us. Oh, Kelly, whatever. She knows every promotional night, it feels like. All right, Spoon's talking the weather here tonight in Cincinnati in that big ballpark. But there's no doubt, right, that move has come in. So Kelly says she is going to lay it. She is going to lay it. And Spoons will take the over. Spoons knows his Cincinnati weather. And let's see what I'm looking at there. You told me, but I got to look at it here. Yeah, windy. No, I'm showing. I'm showing low wind conditions here, blowing in from maybe right to left and straight in from center, but under 5 miles an hour. And nice night tonight in the around 70 degrees there. So, all right. Terrell, what's he doing? He's playing the lottery here. All right, I'll still take the White Sox tonight. And next up, some Nationals taking on the Braves with Mitchell Parker going here against Bryce Elder. Who's better here? Mitchell Parker, right, so far with a 3.97 ERA and a 2.52 BABIP, 2.23 batting average against. The Washington Nationals are 5-3 with Mitchell Parker on the mound so far this season. For Bryce Elder, so far a 4.97 ERA and a 1.29 WHIP, 264 batting average against. Braves are averaging just 4 runs per game, but maybe they're getting in gear and Well, Washington's on a losing streak, unfortunately. Atlanta with the wins here over the last couple of nights, 4-3, and yesterday 5-2 with a list. Felt like a listless Washington offense there last night as the Braves uh, got away with it felt like a workmanlike effort in a 5-2 victory. Atlanta's won 7 of 10. Washington's lost 7 in a row right now. But you call on Mitchell Parker to come in here. The Braves are 5-2 against left-handers so far this season, but that price is pretty high, $1.60 here. Even the square books are higher than that, right? Maybe at $1.70-ish right now. Pinnacle though is at $1.50, so $1.53 actually. So I think it's safe to keep it $1.60 on the screen here. The widely reported steam did come in on the over here, and you look at the total right now. It says 8.5 on screen, but I know we're at 8.5 over for sure here. In fact, we're looking at nines. Pinnacle's 9 over 18. So fix your number, Ramon. Here, this is a big total right now. It feels like yesterday was just 5-2, and the night before that was just 4-3. But the steam is on. Feels like here the steam was on. Actually, clearly on here on the over in this one, but it's not what we've seen in the series so far, right? And would Washington really beat up on a Bryce Elder here? Washington's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games on the road. The Yankees have gone under in 5 straight. 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Atlanta's gone under in 6 of their last 7 at home. It seems like all unders when it comes to these two teams and pitchers right now, especially Atlanta, man. Massive under run here, and they're also 7-12 to the under at home so far this season. Atlanta on the run line so far, 13-19 as a run line favorite, although they are 11-9 against the run line at home. Washington, they're not good on the run line, but they are 500 on the run line as a run line dog this season. So it does seem a little bit hard to swallow here with a $1.60 price, but the Washington run line is $1.50. So let's see what you got here in this one. I say 9, but I tell you what, it's juiced to the over. Like this one's gonna, like the ball's gonna be flying out of the park. Let's go to the comments tonight. See what you have here, and Braves have been improved here of late. That says take him on the run line. Take Ozuna for a home run. 9 Legacy says 7 games in a row. Might be time for the Nationals to win. I think that's the hard part about wanting to take the Nationals here a little bit, right? Braves run line for Fernando. Kelly said, yeah, we got the trends back. There, my little computer. I guess I could just open up the page, open up some of the sites with the trends here. But I like to look at the trends with the players there. All right. Let's see here. Kelly says Atlanta, Washington winner covers a run line in the series. And Atlanta, do they let's see, do they hit lefty or righty better? I just track them wins and losses, but we could break it all the way down. I want to say hello to your Haitian is here. My Haitian, that's my Haitian. Sound like Trump. Look at my Haitian over here. Thank you, your Haitian. Great to have you here. He says, how much prediction do you send per day? I'd say that I send right now, because of the time of the year, I probably send in my, I don't know if this is what you're for, maybe in my premium picks, 10, maybe 10 to 20, maybe if we get all the sports together. And it is Major League Soccer Day as well. Finally got some weekday games in Major League Soccer. Will's on Atlanta here. And let's see here. I think that's it from you guys in this one. I got to take the under here in this one, man. both the first two games go under. God, I'll respect the steam, but at 9/20, I'm going to go with the under at even money in this one. All right, the Marlins and the Cubs. Now, the Cubs, big favorite. You got Jamison Tyone on the mound here going against. Look who's back. It's Weathers on the mound here for the Marlins. I thought he was already back, but maybe not, huh? Let me take a look here. Okay. All right. Well, yep. Guess we're looking at uh, Weathers here. Makes his return. Oh, I see. He was scheduled to come back and then maybe never made it back, but did pitch well for the Jumbo Shrimp there in his last start and went over Syracuse. So Weathers is in the rotation here for Miami in his season debut. Tyone, 4.53 ERA, 1.16 whip, and a 254 BABIP. Not horrible here, but you're going to have the Cubs, of course, a big favorite at minus 220, and the total 8 here in this one. In fact, I'm going to say it might be down to 7.5 on that widely reported steam that did come in on the under in this one. It's looking like a 7.5 over 15, maybe right now could be the most popular consensus line, as the move has clearly been on the under. So it is Chicago after all, so we better take a look and see what the conditions are like. It is winds blowing in from center to right field, 4 to 7 miles an hour. Temperatures in the mid 60s here, it looks like tonight at Wrigley Field. So what's going to happen here with the Cubs? A big favorite, of course. Marlins have lost 3 straight games coming in, including losses here to the Cubs, 5-2, 5-4 over the last couple of nights. So they closed the gap there yesterday, but Miami's lost 9 of their last 10 games on the road overall. They've also lost 4 of their last 5 to the Cubs, and they've lost 9 of their last 13 games here in Wrigley Field. Cubs have gone over in 13 of their last 18 at home, and they've gone over in 4 of the last 6 against Miami overall. Let's go to the chat in this one right now with Cubs and Miami here. A big run line favorite in this one. You look at the Cubs on the run line, 13-11 as a run line favorite so far. Marlins 17-17 as a run line underdog so far this season. Let's see what you guys have here in this one. I'm probably taking the Marlins on the run line. Let you know right now. Kelly does not like these pitchers at all. Nobody liked Weathers. I've kind of always been supportive of Weathers. He's the son of a major leaguer, but really never got his career, but then got injured. And let's see here. Let's see. Jermaine says Weathers. I don't know if we're talking about Weathers or weather here. And Terrell says he has faced the Cubs before a couple years ago. Shows you how long Weathers has been around here. And I'm taking Miami here tonight on the run line at plus 1.5 and minus $1.20. But Weathers is back. And what was I going to say? Well, that's something about Weathers or what was it? Oh, I know what I was just. It made me think of it because of what Jermaine said. I don't know if he meant it was if he meant to type in Carl Weathers, or if he was trying to put in a different word there. His name isn't Carl, right? It's Ryan Weathers, but it made me think of the fact that the former Cubs pitcher just signed in Mexico. Oh, God. what was it? Carl Edwards. Carl Edwards. He just signed. I always trying to get back to the major leagues. I think his career is done with former Cubs pitcher. Signed in Mexico 2 days ago. Thank you, Spoons. Got it. Yep, there he is. Will says take the Marlins on the run line, and there's Spoons. Spoons was going to help me, but I got there. Okay. All right, I'm on the Marlins there. Here, let's go with the Rockies taking on the Rangers in this one. And you do have Senzatella here. Look, I'm trying to make a case here maybe for the Rockies today. Rangers have all of a sudden won 4 in a row. Got a little bit of steam here coming in right now. I want to pass this along to you because this is for game number 1 between Minnesota and Baltimore. We're just 45 minutes away or so, within an hour. But the steam is coming in on the under. I said go over in that first game. I hate to go over in doubleheaders, but I did. But the steam is coming in right now on the Minnesota-Baltimore game 1 of the doubleheader. It's now 8.5 over at minus 115. So steam to the over here. Over and Kramer, game 1 right now here on the Morning Steam Show. I don't come in here and make this stuff up to try to look like I'm some market expert or whatever. We see these moves in real time, and we're passing them along to you in real time. You can sit there and watch the screen all day like I do. We try to keep you abreast of these moves. Very important for bettors, actually. All right, here we go. So I want to make a case for Senzatella. I don't know if I'll get there by the end of this matchup, but despite the 5.77 ERA and 3.95 BABIP, maybe Senzatella has a little bit of markup, I guess, against this Ranger lineup. The Rockies are terrible. Senzatella is terrible, and the Rangers have won now 4 straight thanks to this series against Colorado here. 2-1 and 4-1 over the last 2 nights, totally holding this lineup down. So it's not going to be easy here to get to them. I don't think I can, actually. But Colorado's lost 5 straight on the road, 10 of their last 11 games overall. They're also 3-6 in their last 9 games against Texas. Texas has won 4 of its last 5. Overall, Colorado's gone over in 8 of their last 10, but Texas has gone under in 14 of their last 20 games overall. And of course, Texas has gone under in 13 of their last 16 games overall. The games are, I don't want to say a complete snooze fest because Ranger fans can't be too disappointed here now that they've started kicking in gear again and now over 500. But man, they are 4-18 to the under at home. The Rockies are 6-15 to the under on the road. We've seen this thing go totally under here a little bit, right? Here. So, well, let's see what you have. I guess I'm just going to go to the Rangers after all. The price is up to $250 now, though. Oh, no, it's down to 204 at Penny. Couldn't we see that maybe this is actually a discount here right now with the Rangers currently at, I don't know if it's been steamy, but man, they're down to 2. I got to take the Rangers on the run line here, $1 minus $1.10 right now. I guess the Sharps are kind of look. To me, the Sharps are going to play Senzatella here. Your definition of a Sharp may be different than mine, but hey, when the price was $250 and now it's $215, I don't think Joe Average Bettor is the one taking the Rockies here. If you like discounts on your bread, you might want to be taking the Texas Rangers here today. Even the money line is a bargain. Let me update it here. I got to at least take it down to 220, don't I? Looking at these prices, I mean, industry-wide, it looks like it's 220 here. That's definitely 30 cents lower than some of the prices we saw early, maybe as low as 15 or 20 cents, no matter. But nonetheless, this is a discount on the Texas Rangers against the worst team in baseball. So sometimes it's hard to ever want to bet big favorite. Maybe you do. Maybe you bet all these big favorites all the time in parlays or whatever. But I would give I came in here talking Rockies, but I didn't realize that the Sharps have already kind of taken, because I'm a Sharp, and they've already kind of taken the Rockies here. So I don't know. I've got to look to the Rangers here, possibly. All right, here we go. And Kelly, that's what I was thinking, right? I had Carl Weathers. He was, Paulo Creed. It just passed away. What was it? I guess it's been a couple of years now. All right. Tremaine says maybe Kramer gets rocked now with that steam. Maybe, right? But like I said, when you got the move, Tremaine, though, the move was on um, the under, right? What did I say? I said the move was on the under there. Or no, it was on the, to make sure I get this right. I don't want to mess it up for Jermaine. I didn't say it wrong, right? Because the total now in that opening game is down to 8.5. So the steam came in on the under, meaning that maybe it's going to be a good outing. Okay. Terrell, somehow we're on rock. I pity the fool. Or wait, was that the right movie? I'm gonna kill you. What do you say? Thank you. Nice to see you, Fernando, there. And Spoon says Senzatella is such a bad matchup. Every Ranger's got his best matchup here in this one. And Will never likes the Rangers. He's an Astros fan. Corbin, maybe he's made his career. Maybe that's why, Terrell, we know Corbin's not great, right? But his numbers sometimes are reasonable. Maybe it's because he faces the Rockies too often. It just seems like another under, says, right? We'd be rich if we just played the unders in the Rangers games right now and just turned off the stream and never come back. Why would you sell your picks when you can just bet the under in the Rangers games every day? Will says Carl Weathers, of course, San Diego State. It was from San Diego State. Want to say hello and welcome to Sean Catledge in the chat. Thank you, Sean. Nice to have you in the chat. All stars here. We're almost done with the show. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Here, and let's move on as we got the Royals taking on the Astros with Tanner Gordon. Too bad it's not Tom Gordon going up against Michael Lorenzen here. You got Houston favored in this one right now. Houston is currently at minus $1.40 here, industry wide, $1.30 at Pinnacle. Total 8.5 to the over. It's 8.5 for sure. Here, I think we'd be safe to leave $1.40 up there, but I think this total is more on the 8.5 side right now. Let me go a little deeper into some of these books. Bovada 8.5 over 15, circa 8.5 over. I'll call it 8.5 at least here, but obviously a move here to the over. We said the steam came in on the over with Kansas City and Houston today. Lorenzen and Gordon. For Lorenzen here, 3.56 ERA with a 243 batting average against 269 BABIP here for Tanner Gordon. Haven't we seen him already this season? I thought we had seen Tanner Gordon. Man, maybe I'm watching too many minor league games here with Tanner Gordon. He's already seen time here in the major leagues, if I'm not mistaken, here this season, right? Or did he just get called up and did they not use him in that? Because he was supposed to pitch there last week. I thought. Anyways, let me get down to business with these guys here with uh, the Royals taking on the Astros. Oh, this isn't this. That's my problem, right? This isn't Tanner Gordon. Okay, now I figured it out. I don't even have the right uh, team going here, right? This is Colton Gordon. Thank you. Okay. For Gordon here, he's making his major league debut. Oh, there we go. Now I got it. Why was I thinking Tanner Gordon here? Maybe because I was making that joke about Tom Flash Gordon the other day, and I was like, man, they'd rather have him. So uh, Colton Gordon joining this group. Man, Houston just keeps coming. It feels like with these pitchers here, time and time again. It feels like so. For Gordon making his major league debut in this one, he's a left-hander and comes up from Sugarland in this one. So Gordon was 4-0 in 8 starts with Sugarland so far this year. He did pitch recently, I think last Friday, if I'm looking at this correctly, against Salt Lake City. It was 7-2. He threw 6 innings, allowed 2 runs in that game. So Gordon gets a call up here. He's an 8th round pick from Central Florida, making his debut here. He did pitch in the World Baseball Classic for Israel and did face some major leaguers in that game, but they did get rocked there. But that was pretty much the highlight of his career so far. So there we go. You guys are helping me out in the chat a little bit. And let's take a look here right now. Spoons likes the Astros to blast here with Colton Gordon. Here's an under here right now. Spoons has a lowdown, so let's take a look at it right now. He did have Tommy John surgery, he says here, and still had very strong numbers. You know, Will's going to know also about Colton Gordon coming here. Tex calls him Flash in the Pan, right? We knew Flash Gordon there. Good one, Tex. That's 2 days in a row you've had a very cute quip, and I imagine that you and I would have some fun conversations with your mastery of the vocabulary. All right. Cash now talking. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Spoon says the Astros are needing that extra pitching here right now, and the Royals struggling here for the most part. The steam came in on the over, though, is interesting here to me that now we're dealing with a little bit higher number here right now. And let's see here. Thank you guys for the lowdown on Colton Gordon here. They shouldn't bring up 2 guys named the same last name in a 2-week span, I think is what's happened for me. Kelly's going to take Houston here, -1, and Will's going to take Houston here as well. You guys are hot on Gordon here. Lorenzen's been pretty solid, no doubt about it, here for Kansas City. Kansas City's been the better team thus far. Obviously with their 25-19 record here, but you guys are pretty hot on this rookie here, and obviously odds makers are as well, putting him as a pretty significant favorite here now at $1.30 and on up. Total here is higher. I'm going to take the under, and this one is my play to be safe for me. I'll take under. You guys like this guy a lot. Obviously, we're seeing some unders here with Kansas City and Houston 2-1 yesterday. It was 7-5 in the opener. I get that as well, but I like what you guys are saying. And Kansas City's gone under in 13 of their last 19 games overall. Skelly said Houston's kind of had a dominance over these guys. They've won 5 of the last 6 meetings here at home, and Houston's gone 11-4 at home in their last 15. Kansas City 7-2 on the road in their last 9 games. Houston's gone over in 10 of their last 15 overall, but I'm going to try the under here in this one. All right, a couple more here, and we're done with the show. How about the Padres with a win last night? That walk-off by Fernando Tatis. We'll see. It's a game here against the Angels, but man, Tatis could be wearing a baseball on his buttocks here today, the way he circled those bases. I know that's the way you do things nowadays. When you circle the bases, you got to have a parade. You got to do a loop-de-loop. You got to take a jump shot. You got to do a little curly Q. I almost feel like it's Savannah Bananas out there on some of these home run trots by these guys. But look, I guess if you do the same thing every time like Fernando does, it's not a showing up the other team. And let's just stand there and watch your home run for 30 seconds before you start your baseball trot and you toss the bat to the wrong dugout. I wouldn't be surprised if Fernando gets one up around the shoulder here in this game tonight against the Angels. I don't want that to happen, but man, they could have put a sundial on that trip around the bases last night. Hey, that's my guy, but he was showing up the opposition there. But hey, it was a 2-run home run to win the game. Why not? For Fernando Tatis Jr. In this game, though, for the Angels and Hendricks, a 5.3 ERA coming in, but a 2.31 BABIP, a 1.26 WHIP here for Hendricks here. Why? It just shows you how uh, uh, old I am. When you talk about a guy like Kyle Hendricks, but still, 1-4 overall. Angels are 3-4 with Hendricks on the mound. For Randy Vasquez here, he's 2-3 with 3.76 ERA, 1.59 WHIP coming in, 264 BABIP coming into this one. Padres are just 4-4 with Vasquez on the mound for a team that's 11 games over 500. Angels 17-24 coming into this one. Feels to me like the Padres are making a little bit tough on themselves, but to be honest, I think this price looks a little light here. Padres maybe should be a $2 favorite, and maybe they are at a few spots. It could be a little bit higher than this right now, but let's see here. Maybe not much coming in from you guys. Kelly's not too fond of Vasquez, and maybe this one will go over the total. Especially, look, last night Padres got that win, and it was 6-4, and the first night was 9-5. So Padres bullpen sucks. I hesitate to say that because they've been so good this season, but man, they've fallen back in the pack here, really, with a 3.32. I say fallen back. They're still in the top 10 bullpens, but they've been getting crushed over the last week. They've probably been overused a little bit. I think they maybe read, the Padres got a little happy in the bullpen a little bit. Maybe they're not all that. Remember, they were crushing it there. They've really doubled their bullpen ERA in the last 10 days with some rough outings ever since they gave that 10 runs against the Yankees in that 6th inning back in New York. But all right, let's take a look, though, here a little bit at some of the trends involving the two teams coming in, because the Angels have lost 10 of their last 11 games on the road, although they have beaten the Padres in 3 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams before last night, of course. Padres have gone over in 4 of their last 5. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two have gone over here, including last night's game. There, 10 runs, and it was 7.5 was the total. Padres have gone over in 5 straight. They've won 9 of their last 13 overall coming into this one. But the Angels have played them kind of tough here. Still, the Padres covered the run line last night. The Padres have done a good job covering the run line. They're 14-8 as a run line favorite. The Angels are 14-18 as a run line dog, and you're getting a little bit of plus money tonight with the Padres on the run line. Spoon says, yeah, maybe we could get a prop on Tatis to be hit by a pitch tonight. I think it would be it's one of those a little too obvious, right? But I think the Padres have a return trip there. Maybe it could be later in the season, but man, I was cringing a little bit between my celebration. Yes, last night I did have the over here on the show, so it wasn't too much of a factor. But I was happy about it, but still, Fernando says take the Padres on the run line. That's what I'm going to do. Does feel like they should even be a little bit stiffer of a favorite here. I'm going to take the Padres tonight on the run line. Okay, last one here with the A's. Hey, we had them yesterday. We had them yesterday here. Yeah, we had them on the run line. Could have had a minus 10 runs. They smashed the Dodgers, and I think it shows a game like that the A's, I'm not calling them for real. I'm not calling them a playoff team, even though they'd be in the playoffs today. I just think what we're seeing is a A's team that has gained some confidence here, and maybe their young talents come around just a little bit. But you know what? They're heading for a major league city eventually here in Las Vegas, where I've come to learn that pro sports is alive and well here. And I think it's going to be great for the A's franchise, quite frankly, once they get into a Las Vegas style ballpark. Sure, they're having to play in that little thing right now, but get on the road against a team like the Dodgers last night and win the game 11-1 after losing, 12-2 the night before the New York Yankees, or the game before. That's pretty good moxie for sure for the A's, and they've won 5 of their last 6 games on the road right now. Dodgers here, look, they're the Dodgers. Don't have to tell you about how great they are, but they've lost 3 of their last 5 coming into this one. Dodgers are just 17-19 on the run line as a favorite. The A's are 16-12 on the run line on the road. Now, you have Yoshi Yamamoto here, who has a 1.8 ERA. So far this season has looked pretty darn good. Hoagland's looked good in 2 starts, 2.38 ERA, 105 whip coming into this one. This one's going to be tough for sure with Yamamoto going, but the A's are playing so well, and they got an interesting pitcher here on the mound tonight. Could you consider him in this matchup against the Dodgers? At the price here, plus big time plus money, 115 here. Take the A's plus 1.5. I want to do that. Total right now. Let me see if this line is. It's gone up a little bit than this. It's at least 275 even at Pinnacle right now, and the total is 8.5 under at minus 115 or so. I think we can even bump it up here. There a couple of cents. So give me the A's again tonight for sure. Love what this team is doing right now, and I'll just take them on the run line here. But I like what we've seen from Hoagland, and Yamamoto is mowing them all down here at this point. So let's go to the chat though and end the show here with let's see. Oh, Fernando took the Padres there. Will likes the Padres here, and Spoon says he'll take him on the run line here. But man, if it's Gunnar Hoagland day, maybe we should take him on the run line. I said last night, the A's and the Dodgers played a famous World Series back in the 70s, and Will likes the Dodgers in the finale. Fernando going under first 5, and El Patron 1800 likes the Dodgers on the run line. I'll settle for some 1800 if I can't get any Patron. Patron, I don't know. He's got Patron and 1800. I don't know. What is your favorite Patron? I'm kind of a Reposado kind of guy. Texas, is he going to MSG to watch the game there tonight? The watch party? I would probably start at the watch party, and then I know you see it, Tex. There's like pickleball right across the street. I'd be tempted to go in there and play some pickleball once the game was over. Don't they have the pickleball indoor courts there right next? That must be some expensive pickleball right there across the street from Madison Square Garden. Man, that must be some expensive pickleball. All right, I guess that's going to do it for the morning steam show. Now, there's a huge Major League Soccer card today, and I'm going to have some picks coming out for sure. May probably be on the free VIPs, it feels like here. I'll probably send that one out as a free selection. So if you want some Major League Soccer today or this evening, head on over to winnable.com/Ramon and sign up to my free picks over there, the VIP. So you'll get signed up if you're not already. We've got a couple hundred of you on the VIP picks. So I know you're out there getting some of these, and I try to do the best I can to keep you as a subscriber and maybe get on over to the paid picks. They're not really paid picks at all. You're paying 56 cents a day. Look at this as a pay-per-view show. 56 cents a day to would you guys consider offering me 56 cents for my 2.5 hours of work every day? I'm not begging here, but that's how you're going to keep me here on the channel over at the Sports Money Network, or I'll have to go start my own channel and hopefully get a few subscribers. And I don't know what we'd do if I didn't have Mikey and Jeff and the gang here to host me every day. So if you'd like to subscribe, click the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. What I do is send out a couple of packages every day there with my premium picks, and also usually one or two of some free picks. Sometimes you get some Asian baseball overnight. If my tennis isn't hot, we'll put it down on the free picks. If it's hot, we'll put it behind the paywall. And right now, the tennis is doing pretty good. So head on over to winnable.com/Ramon and get signed up. Hey, when you go over there, it looks like this. You can get right there on the screen. You see me there. You can pay Apple Pay, Google Pay. You click on it like that. Once you hit the pay, it comes up like you're going to Taco Bell. It comes right up there on the screen. Shows you there. Oops, don't look at my banking information. I'm not buying my own picks, but that's kind of how it works. You click on the button right there, double click to pay. Everyone knows how to do this, or on your other devices as well, but that's how it works. And like I said, there's also free subscription over there. $0. You won't be charged for anything. I don't send any. I'm not great at marketing. That's why I do it this way. You won't get anything bothering you or anything. We only send you what you want when you want. You put the notifications on. That's how it works. It shows you how it works there. If you get signed up, you don't need me. It has full-on instructions right there, how to subscribe and receive the plays on the phone and all that. And then when it comes up, the plays come right up on the phone here. And look at this. I've got maybe that tennis action that's a VIP. We got a match coming up. There it is right there. And that's how it looks like. Those are the plays. You don't have to subscribe. Those are the plays right there. You see the Alcaraz win. Somebody went with Musetti. Was it Gore? Who went? And I have Zverev. And then I got Sabs over Qinwen Zhang to lay the games line there. So that's what it looks like when you come up on the screen. Got college baseball in there as well, my MLB from last night, and they come to your phone and you get more picks from me. Hope you like them. And that's how I'll do the soccer today as well. Okay, thanks to everyone for great comments here in the chat today. And Tex is going. Tex and I, we're going to go grade quips, and then we're going to play each other in pickleball. Spoon says, remember when the A's were so good? Not only did they have the run in the 70s, they had the run with the Bash brothers as well, with Canseco and McGuire. And remember the earthquake game? I don't know if maybe there's some young enough in the chat that didn't live through the earthquake game. And they were the A's and Giants. The two teams from the Bay Area were about to play a game in the World Series, and just moments before, they were just coming on the air with the broadcast for a 5 o'clock start out west. I guess the game was start about 5:15 or so, and an earthquake struck. One of the worst earthquakes in the country's history, actually, only second to the Great San Francisco earthquake, really. A lot of lives were lost, a lot of damage there. It postponed the World Series for a week because of the earthquake, and very memorable. If anybody, I know a lot of you were. I know I attract an older crowd in here a little bit, but Spoons was young, or just probably was born. It feels like. There's text talking about it. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it all here in the chat. And Fernando saw Moneyball, didn't even know the A's won the World Series. And, they were talking about and I mentioned this before, but we're just wrapping it up. So the Athletics, would they change their name in Vegas? They were the Philadelphia Athletics, the Kansas City Athletics, the Oakland Athletics. Maybe they're even the Sacramento Athletics. You think they're going to change the name now? All right. The A's and the Reds played as well. That's it for the Morning Steam Show. That's join me here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Join Mikey Money for pre-gaming, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. All of our programming is getting out there right now. I'll have picks in golf tonight as well, so make sure there. That package is going to come out pretty early, but still it'll be almost middle of the night East Coast time. You want to get up early and get those plays in. I'll try to get out there as early as I can. This is a major, so I got to have those plays ready here. But golf tonight, video out right now with Mikey and Jeff for the preview of the PGA Championship. Also, we have previews this week for NRL coverage, rugby league coverage from Down Under with Dan and Smythe. Also, VB MMA picks out right now. We had our special guest this week was Mikey Money, came through with VB yesterday previewing that UFC card here for this weekend on Saturday night from the Apex in Las Vegas, and also First Strike out tonight. So lots of programming here to consume on the Sports Money Network. We're serious about this. We're just doing YouTube shows, but we're trying to treat it as much as we can, like to get you the information that you want to hear from another source. You guys are all great cappers, but we always want to hear what our peers have and what they're thinking. All right, that's going to do it for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. Ramon Scott, sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to